Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be looking at the new War Depot update, as it is going to be dropping in-game fairly soon, but we're going to be going over what rewards we can get from the depot and if there is going to be a brand spanking new exclusive War S-Class. We'll first read through the intro and it says, new War Depot rewards, the timer is ticking and we bet you've been dying to know what we're going to include next in the War Depot. Fret no more, we have the new set ready to be released today and it will be available for the next couple of months until the 26th of December at 5 PM. Pacific time, I'm guessing that's going to be Pacific time. The 26th of December is a very interesting date to have the next reset, and I'm almost going to guarantee that that's going to be delayed. I would be very surprised if that was to happen. The current league season was adjusted to an 8-week league season to make it so it didn't reset during the Christmas New Year period, so again, I'd be very surprised if that was the case. Unless it's a very easy update to do, I would assume that would be changed. Most likely to the 9th of January, which is 2 weeks later, because a week after the 26th is pretty much New Year's Day, so there's going to be a lot of people at Scopely most likely not in the office. But that's just my thoughts there. Now, if we look at the rewards themselves, the half-rotting heads are going to be returning at 25 half-rotting heads. However, the stock is going to increase from 10 to 40. This is a good change. I think 10 was extremely low for, which was effectively a 2-month stash, so that's a good change. The S-Class cards are going to be included in a choice box. We will check out which cards are going to be in there this time around. It's not going to be individual characters, it's now going to be a choice box. They are going to cost exactly the same, where you get 200 for 200. However, now it's a choice box and the stock has been changed to 20. It does mean that you are going to be able to pick up less S-Class characters cards overall. Let's say there's 3 characters you like there. Before, you could have picked up 20 of 3 separate characters if you had enough tokens. This time around, you have got no chance of doing that. The max you can actually pick up is 20 of any of them in the choice box. That is a little bit disappointing, and I think if they are going to keep the S-Class card choice box there in the future, that stock being brought up a little bit would be good. I would say probably 50 would be good, because that would actually be enough to claim an entire S-Class from the S-Class card choice boxes if someone wanted to, or just to get little bits and pieces. It would still be less than what we can get right now, because I think there's 80 effectively that you can claim right now from the 4, because it's 20 a piece. But hopefully that choice box stock increases in the future, like I say. There is going to be a 6-star character choice box once again. It is going to cost 300, and again a stock of 4. We'll check those out in a second. There is going to be the 1 Bernadette returning for the same price. Still quite expensive. It is a lot of XP, but still quite expensive. We have got the 1 Varnish, same price, same stock. 1 Engine Grease, same price, same stock. And lastly, the 25,000 gear markers, same price and same stock. Now, as we look at the cards that are going to be in that choice box, it's going to be 200 Aaron cards, Jackie cards, Minerva cards, or Arav cards. And this is what I've said before, 200 for 200. I like the fact that they have included some leaders in here, even though I don't think Jackie is anywhere near as great as she once was, obviously. Aaron being in here is great. He has not really been made too accessible, except pretty much for this depot. The only other time he was accessible was within Brutus event, and I think the majority of people would have been going for Brutus as a priority there. So it is great that he's here. Hopefully he does come into other parts of the game. I'm going to definitely pick up the cards that I need to get him. I think I need 2,000, so it's going to be 10 claims to that crate instantly for me. And I would potentially have picked up 4,000 to 6,000 of Jackie's cards, but I can't because of the limited amount of stock of those cards. So that is a bit of a disappointment. Now, when it comes to Minerva and Arav, I'm not really a big fan of these characters being in here. Minerva's not really that useful, and she is more of a, because she's, a lot of people love the Telltale characters, and I'm fine with that, but in terms of her usability, not great. Arav has been given out quite a lot of times in events where you could pick up, I think, even just up to 10,000 Arav cards. So most people have him already. They have actually given out the 5-star of him now twice in the battle pass, so I think if someone wanted Arav, they'd probably have him already. And a lot of these characters aren't like that new. Only Jackie is a character from the 2nd S-Class card choice box in the daily rewards. And I think having someone a little bit further on would have been like a nicer step. Negan would have been nice. I don't particularly think Negan's that great or someone I'd want, but I know that a lot of people do want him. He was part of the previous battle pass. People have got progress towards him, so it would have been a crate that some people would have wanted to go for. Or maybe someone that's not even in this crate just yet. So like a more of a premium reward, as this is the War Depot. So I think that a lot of people are going to probably be disappointed with the cards in here. I'm just happy that Aaron's in here, but the rest of the characters aren't really going to do too much for me. So after I claim those 10 crates to get the 2,000 Aaron cards I need, the rest I'm probably not going to claim. And that shouldn't be the situation you face. You should be faced with a hard choice. Which character do I actually take out of this crate? Not, do I even bother taking this crate in the first place? So again, I think this is a little bit of a underwhelming selection of characters, but I do think it was better than last season's by quite a bit, just because we have lacked some defensive leader options, and there are 2 in here. The second crate is the 6-star character choice box, and I did pretty much write this one off last season as just not a good one to take. This time round, however, they actually have got 4 decent characters in here. Jia Feng is going to be good for Faction Assault. There is obviously a Faction Assault event starting. A lot of people do have 1 or 2 of her though, because she was in a battle pass and she was in, I believe, leagues once upon a time. So we also have Dr. Stevens, and that is the AP game Dr. Stevens, I believe. And if you don't have him already, he's great. And if you do have him, he is actually pretty decent to pick up a duplicate of, because you can have him. He's instantly going to be a 6-star. But you can have him so he's just going to be good for endurance arenas. If you have got a team that can win quick and you rely on Dr. Stevens, well, you could potentially get up to 4 more Dr. Stevens here. Alice is a nice leader, but she's got exactly the same leader skill as Erin, who is obviously the War exclusive character that we've had most recently. But if you did not get Kenny, Alice is actually not too bad, because she's giving the same sort of attack buff, pretty much the 6-star version of S-Class Kenny. And Slater is a decent command revive, but they did actually get this character out on Independence Day, I think it was American Independence Day that they gave this character out. So a little bit strange on the Slater selection, but they are all decent characters. I will say that this time around, they're all decent characters, but I would, generally speaking, avoid these characters unless you're kind of desperate. I think Dr. Stevens is probably the best pick in here, and if you don't have a Dr. Stevens, it definitely wouldn't be a bad pickup for you. It does cost 300 of the tokens to be able to pick this up, but like I say, I wouldn't pick up any of the other characters realistically unless you're just trying to collect characters. It's someone who you've always wanted. If you've always wanted Alice, I can kind of understand. He does finish up by saying the War Stash will remain unaltered, and we hope you enjoy the updated rewards in the War Depot. It does then remind us that make sure you use your current War Stash tokens before 5 PM today, Pacific time, as your War Stash tokens will expire. So make sure you use them. It's not like you're losing out, because the next War Stash is going to be exactly the same. You just got to use them. If you don't use them, they are just going to expire. They could probably turn into like supply depot tokens at probably a really bad rate as well. Now, I know what a lot of you are going to be wondering is there going to be another War exclusive character for the reset of the War Depot and War Stash? Now, of course, the last character we got was S-Class Erin, and we got her last April, so over 7 months ago. It's actually 7.5 months ago, and pretty much I've been seeing this question pop up a lot. I've been getting a lot of messages sent on my Discord about the next potential S-Class we could be getting from the War Rewards that use those half-rotting heads that they're still giving us to be able to complete the upgrades. They've been giving us those half-rotting heads since the release of Erin, since the release of Kapoor, but they've been doing it again since the release of Erin. Now, I can say that the whole rotting heads collection, where you hand in those half-rotting heads to get the whole rotting heads to upgrade the War exclusive character, did get extended. It was counting down. I think it was down to like 30 days, and it got extended, but it didn't get upgraded. It's still only 44 possible claims, whereas the last time they extended it, they did double it from 22 to 44. So there's not going to be another War exclusive character just yet, it would seem. At least it wasn't announced with this depot update, but hopefully one does come soon, because like I said, it's been 7.5 months. This is a really easy way to give the community a character, and for me personally as a creator, I always point people in the direction of picking up the War characters when they're brand new to try and get their hands on a character, and that's a baseline. I think Erin was a good character, and I think hopefully the next character that comes out is more defensive, to just have a decent baseline for a defense team, and hopefully not an alert character. as S-Class Kapoor was released back last October, and then we had Eren 6 months later in April. I think a lot of people just kind of assumed October again, but it doesn't seem to be the case. So maybe we can have some influence on what sort of character could be the next War exclusive. If you have any ideas on the next character that you'd like to see, do put your thoughts in the comments down below. I might make some content around this because just like a gold brick character, just like a league refresh character, this is a character that can be very important. I'd actually say the war characters are the most important, that they're actually pretty stable because they're the ones that have been most accessible out of everything. The league characters only last while the league is up, and the gold brick characters are very hard to, you know, let's say there's 2 in there that I think someone should pick up, they can only actually ideally get 1 instantly. So I think the War Depot characters is a good way to have a good baseline for your player base and get them what they'll need now and honestly long term for veterans and newer players. It can be hard to sometimes balance it out, but we can maybe come up with some ideas. Do leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and do tell me what you think about the depot refresh as a whole. Do you like the characters that have been put in here? Are you going to pick up the 6-star crate? Which character are you going to be focusing on getting in that S-Class crate? That is the end of my video though, guys. I want to thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.